Hey everybody, welcome to the Spitter Swallow Beer Reviews, Rockin' Reviews, and Awesome Brews. I am Shagdog, and this is my top 10 albums of 1984. Some of you are going to be really upset, and some of you might be happy that your band's in there, or singer, or whatever. But some of you are going to be very, very upset when I get through my list here. All righty, there we go. Yeah, my top 10 albums 1984, and I made this list real quick. There are some albums I would like to put on there, but I can't put a rock band or heavy metal band that I like where I only like 2 or 3 songs on the whole album, and the rest of the album's garbage to me. So I couldn't do it. So I went through my childhood, 1984. I think I was I would have been 13 towards the end of the year. So I was 12 basically most of the year. And these are my top 10 albums. So here we go. I hope you're enjoying this fine Saturday. And I am live. I probably should do these, record these and edit them and add the music. We could add music, non-copyright music. Usually if you add karaoke music, you get by. I guess we're not making money or anything. Maybe when we start making money someday, we might get deleted, all these videos. But anyhow, the awesome beer I'm doing is not so awesome this year, but it's Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest Festbier. This year they collaborated with Gutmann, a brewery out of Germany. Not as good as last year. It's okay, but nothing to call mom about. But let's get that in the glass. And then let's get to this top 10 list. What do you say there, folks? I agree, Shagdog. Oh, well, I almost went over. Still bubbling up a little bit. I don't think it's going to go over. Wow, cool. Yeah, I was saving this list for Jammer, but I think I'll let my rock out, So, and some are going to be upset. And Jammer, I went through some of these bands and more. I'll do some honorable mentions at the end before we get to number one. But he couldn't figure out. He's like, well, I'd have to sit there and look for a whole week. And of course, he's busy. So I just want to do it. I want to do one video a week for this type of stuff. So here's this week's video. Top 10 albums. My top 10 albums of 1984. Check out my top 10 albums of 1983. I did screw up with one album in 1983 because it's supposed to be an album that came out that year. And I screwed up. Michael Jackson Thriller came out in 82. And I was thinking it came out in 83 because it was number one from like January till June or some crap till May or something like that. So my bad. All right. Number 10. You might remember this album. It had a lot of hits, a lot of videos on MTV. The Cars, Heartbeat City. Of course, I think this is probably the last good album by the Cars, I think. Hello Again, Magic was another great song. You Might Think was playing on MTV like crazy. You might think they cut down on it. Got played out pretty bad, but it's still enjoyable to listen to now. It's not one of those songs like Pour Some Sugar on Me, where you're like, pour some sugar on me again, because they got played out like crazy back then. But, you listen to it now, you're like, wow, I haven't heard this song in a long time. Of course, their big hit, Drive, Who's Gonna Drive You Home Tonight, right? Great song. Heartbeat City was pretty good song, self-titled for the album. Some really nice gems in there are Why Can't I Have You, I Refuse, and Stranger Eyes. Pretty good songs. So that's my number 10 album. It probably could have even went a little higher, but I went with number 10. So there you go. Number 9, big album that year, big movie. Well, it wasn't the biggest movie of all time, but big movie with younger generation is Prince, Purple Rain. Of course, you had the big hit, Purple Rain, and the other big hit, When Doves Cry. And then they even had the I Would Die For You was a great one. Let's Go Crazy was playing on MTV. I Would Die For You was playing a lot too. And of course, the sexual provocative song, Darling Nikki. Everybody remembers that one, right? Yeah. We're sitting there like, wow, sounds like a real thing going on there, but it probably wasn't. But that was my number 9 album, Prince, Purple Rain, 1984. Number 8. I probably should put numbers by these. I just have them listed. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. I'm not a big Bruce Springsteen fan, and I wasn't even going to think about putting this on my list. But when you look at the songs on there, listen to this. Of course, you got the big one, Born in the USA. I think that was the first single off the album, right? I believe so. Oh, no. Dancing in the Dark, I think it was. I can't remember. Anyhow, Born in the USA, Glory Days, Downbound Train, I'm on Fire, I'm Going Down. I'm going down. You remember that one? Dancing in the Dark, My Hometown, and then my personal favorites from it, there's not my favorite songs from the album, but the gems, the ones that they have videos for or whatever. Darlington County, No Surrender, and Bobby Jean. That was a pretty damn good album. And I think later on, Bruce Springsteen was like, well, that's his least favorite that he did. But that's my favorite by Bruce. I probably should go back and listen to his other albums, but you never know. I might become one of those Bruce fans. You know, a guy I used to work with, man, he was a diehard Bruce Springsteen fan. He had posters in his living room. I never went to his house, but other people at work told me, yeah, he has posters of Bruce Springsteen all over and pictures, and they were making fun of him. He's like, yeah, hell yeah, I like the boss. He's the best ever. You know, he's really proud of being a Bruce Springsteen fan. So I give him props for that. You know. All right, my number 7. 10, 9, 8. Yeah, number 7 album. And you guys might not even remember this one. This was a pretty good album. I probably might have bumped it down a little bit, but it's my number 7, Vital Signs by Survivor. It was their new singer. It's not the guy that did Eye of the Tiger. What the hell is his name now? Jamie Jamison, I think his name was. Lead singer. He died back in like 2013 or 12, I believe. But yeah, Vital Signs by Survivor. I mean, the biggest hit they had, everybody knew, was Eye of the Tiger. But this one came out not scorching, but the first single off the album was I Can't Hold Back. And it had this beautiful girl in it, you know. Man, what a great song. And I was like, I was 12 years old when that song came out, right? No, 13. I don't know what the hell, how old I was. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 years old. No, 13. I was 13, actually. Yeah, and it just made me thought of this one girl I liked. And I was like, yeah, I can't hold back. I didn't tell this girl how much I like her, but I never did, actually. But, yeah, I Can't Hold Back. High on You, the biggest probably hit off that album. First Night. A lot of their songs, besides the big hits, were like almost like this whole album could have been a soundtrack album. First Night, Broken Promises, Popular Girl, and the biggest hit, the ballad The Search Is Over, was a pretty good one. And then they also had, it wasn't on the album, it was on the Karate Kid soundtrack that year. Maybe it would have been on the album if it wasn't on the Karate Kid soundtrack. I don't know. But it was The Moment of Truth. Pretty good song. But it was on the reissue album in 2009, but the original album wasn't on. But yeah, Survivor. Yeah, they're number 7. I think, right? Yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah. It's going to be rough. Let's take a sip of beer. Beer has been waiting for me. 7th in the stretch, right? Awesome brews, Rockin reviews. Here we go. Number 6. Truthfully, overall, I don't think this is a great album, but it's very nostalgic to me. My older brother, God bless his soul, rest in peace. got this album, brought it home, and I thought it was great. He's like, yeah, there's this new band. They're kind of like Kiss. They got makeup on and stuff. I'm like, oh, really? And it was Twisted Sister. They didn't have the same type of makeup Kiss had, but, they had the pink and blue above the eyes, kind of transvesty like. But it was Stay Hungry by Kiss. And, of course, I already knew there one song or one or two songs by that point. We're Not Going to Take It and I Want to Rock. I'm sure both of them, or at least one of them, was out at that point. But the other songs I liked off that album was SMF, Burn in Hell, and The Price. And there's a couple other good songs too, but they're my key songs right there. And it was pretty good at the time. If you listen to it now, it didn't really age really well, but I could probably still listen to it and enjoy it, once in the 5 years or whatever. So, but it was basically, that's my number 6 right there. And sip of beer going into my next album. Hey, thanks to the one viewer watching. Jammer appreciates it, and so don't I. So number 5. Number 5 is Scorpions. Love at First Sting. I actually like, as I grew older and heard some of Scorpions' older stuff in the late 70s, early 80s, like 80, 81, 82. I kind of like that 78 to 82 period, but yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah. Someone told me I should dress like that on Halloween one time. I said, yeah, you should dress up like Dee Snider. I'm a man of 1,000 faces. Dee Snider, Nicolas Cage, Kevin Costner, Buffalo Bob, or whatever hell his name was from Silence of the Lamb. I heard Nick, or what the hell is that guy's name? Tom Green when I had a goatee. Hans Gruber, or whatever hell his name was from Die Hard when I had a goatee. Heard a couple other people too. The guy from Better Call Saul or whatever hell it is. Yeah, I'm a man of 10,000 faces. But Scorpions. Of course, Rocky Like a Hurricane was the big one. Still Loving You, great ballad. Actually, Still Loving You, when that thing first came out, it made me sick for some reason. I don't know. Just a good time. Oh, I mean, the guitar sound just made me sick. But I kind of grew to like it though later on. But Bad Boys Running Wild, Rocket Like a Hurricane, of course, Still Loving You, and Big City Nights. One of my favorite Scorpion songs, Big City Nights, I think. So yeah, that was a pretty good one. I mean, I remember that video for Rocket Like a Hurricane. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. That whole 84, any heavy metal or rock videos that were playing on MTV at the time were pretty good. Even Dio, I think Last in Line was that same year. I didn't put Dio on my list because I listened to the album. Probably that's why I only liked about 2 or 3 songs on it. So they couldn't be on the album. Or on the list. So, but those videos, man, 84, they're great. And so yeah, Scorpions. My number 4 album of 1984 is called, you guessed it, 1984 by Van Halen. Jump, Hot for Teacher, Panama, probably one of my favorite. Hot for Teacher too, I like too. I like it better than Jump. 2 of my favorite songs by Van Halen. Also, they have I'll Wait, Drop Dead Legs. Great album. I don't think it was their best album, but it was a pretty good album that year. Actually, I didn't even know I've heard a couple of Van Halen songs before that album came out. Not many, but a few. And when that album came out, I think my cousin had it, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta listen to." I mean, of course, I saw the video for Jump. That's when it first came out. Oh, you gotta listen to Van Halen. Oh yeah, Jump. Oh yeah, I want to listen to the whole album and listen to it. I was like, wow, that's pretty good, So Van Halen, Jump for it, y'all. All right, my number 3, a classic album, one of the best albums I think it's this guy's best album for sure. Bryan Adams, Reckless. One Night Love Affair. Run to You. Of course, a classic rock ballad, Heaven. Somebody and Summer of '69. I mean, you could probably just take those songs by themselves and say, yeah, we got a hit record. We only need these 5 songs. Great album. There's a couple other songs too. I didn't write them down, but they're the key songs on that album. Yeah, it's a pretty good album. Although there was another Bryan Adams song I thought was on the album, but it wasn't, which was what the hell was the name of that album or song? Fine, I can't remember it. Anyhow, yeah, that was my number 3 album of 1984. Me and Jammer were going to do 2 lists where he says his top 10, I say my top 10, but we couldn't say the same band, so I'd have to say, okay, what do you got? Okay, this is what I got. Well, I'm keeping this band. We're going to do that type of stuff, but that would have took forever. Huh? So it would have been top 20, basically, between the 2 of us. Number 2, I didn't know this album was out even in 1984. I didn't even know this band until like 85 or 86. But when I went back to their catalog, you know, most of their albums are pretty good. I like a lot of their albums. And this is Dockin', Tooth and Nail. And You Just Got Lucky, Into the Fire, Alone Again, When Heaven Comes Down. The song Tooth and Nail, which is the album's title, is pretty good. Heartless Heart, Don't Close Your Eyes, and Bullets to Spare. Nothing but great George Lynch riffs. And Don Dockin's voice isn't that bad either. So pretty good. No big hits, like besides a couple. I mean, Just Got Lucky, Into the Fire, Alone Again were probably the 3 biggest hits off that, but they're all quality, good rockin' Dockin songs. Rockin' with Dockin, right? I liked them all. Most Dockin albums, I never owned a Dockin album besides their Beast from the East Greatest Hits one, but I probably should have bought more of them because they're one of those bands that were really good, but they just didn't quite make it big time. They should have been up there, but I think because they weren't like happy party 80s rockers, you know, most of their songs were a little, I mean, they weren't really hair banished. They were a little bit as far as the way they dress sometimes and stuff like that, but they were a little bit darker, I think. I think they were more hair banished back then on this album, but yeah. I mean, you got to Rockin' with Dockin. They're, I guess you just had to like them or not. You know, they're probably like 50-50 for everybody. All right. Number 1. This is probably what Jammer, he probably would have wanted this one as his number 1. And it's my favorite band. Rat, 1984 is Out of the Cellar. Of course, their biggest hit, and they still play to this day. It's played out, but not as bad as Pour Some Sugar on Me. Round and Round, and I would rather listen to Round and Round than Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard. The other big hits on the album, I mean, well, they weren't big hits, but Back for More. I would say Lack of Communication, even though I don't think that was released as a single. You're in Trouble was that the one? You're in Trouble was in the movie Weird Science when one of those kids were in the car with the girl after she brainwashes his parents. They get in the car, or was it Wanted Man? I think it was Wanted Man in that video. Yeah, but Round and Round, I'm Insane, Back for More, Lack of Communication, Wanted Man, In Your Direction, She Wants Money. Jammer likes that one. Really great album. Still, even if you listen to this day, it's still what do you call that? You know, still holds its own to this day. And even this one guy I watched, Hair Metal Guru, he did a side-by-side comparison, like graded each song down a list. Rat against Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, and Rat won by his point system. So that just tells you, Motley Crue fans, who's better. And that was probably both bands' best albums, although some Motley Crue fans would say, I always forget the name of the album Motley Crue had that had Live Wire on it. Oh, well. But I think Shout at the Devil is Motley Crue's best album. But that's it. Number one, Rat, Out of the Cellar. I got that album. Actually, I first heard it. Of course, the song Round and Round was on MTV. And then my brothers, they didn't have it supposedly in our record store in our town yet. Or maybe it wasn't released, or it was released that week, but nobody could find it in our town. My friend's brother went to Chicago, and then he came back with it. And he's like, yeah, I got the Rat record. Check it out. We listened to it. I was like, it was pretty good. And I was even amazed at one song that had the word bitch in it. Imagine 1984. You know, you didn't hear too many songs with the word bitch in it back then. And their one song, Scene of the Crime, says like, now I know what you thought of me, cold-blooded bitch going out on me. I was like, holy shit, they said bitch. 1984. I probably did say holy shit. Great album, though. My favorite band to this day, of course, as they went along, I think that one was double platinum. Invasion of Your Privacy, the next one, I'm not sure if that one went double platinum. It might have. Platinum or double platinum. And then Dance Undercover went platinum. Reach for the Sky went platinum, surprisingly. But probably based on one or two songs that they had were hits. And then Detonator went gold. Actually, I think Detonator came out in 1990. It didn't go gold until like 1993 or 94 or something like that. It took 4 years to even get to gold. So, and that was it. That was their last gold record. No platinums. 1999, I don't even know how many albums that sold. The 2010 Infestation sold 30-some thousand in its first week. It actually reached like number 32 or 34 on the Billboard, which was surprising even to me. Yeah. My favorite band. This actual shirt is a Dancing Undercover, not the album cover, but I guess some, I don't know, because there is a black version of the shirt and it's actually the Rats in red instead of pink. But I like this charcoal gray t-shirt with the pink rat, and thought it looked kind of retro 80s a little bit. But yeah, I don't have an Out of the Cellar. I used to have an Out of the Cellar, or just the basic rat t-shirt, black with red on it, red rat. But I bought it in haste before I went to a concert or something like that, and it didn't. The size was horrible. Like they made it in China or Taiwan or something. I don't know. It was like short but wide. I was like, what the hell kind of shirt is this? You know, I was like barely reached I went past my belly button a little bit, but it was like really wide. I was like, man, this shirt's like retarded. That's the only one he got. I'm like, damn. So there's my top 10 albums of 1984. Hopefully Jammer can join me the next time I do this for the top 10 albums of 1985. As the years get more and more towards the late 80s, there'll be more hair bands, most likely. Maybe even some heavy metal bands. So I apologize to all the metal heads out there and hairband heads. But no, I don't apologize, actually. These are my favorite bands. And I would actually recommend, especially Survivor, if you like 80s soundtrack type music, go ahead and listen to that album. Of course, Bruce Springsteen, The Cars. Great. I mean, I listened to that Cars album. I only heard that whole album, I think, back in 1984. I haven't heard those songs since. And when I heard those songs, I was like, wow, I liked a couple of those songs, you know. Of course, they're hits I like, but a couple of those other songs that I mentioned, I was like, wow, those songs were cool. I mean, I wasn't like going, oh, The Cars rock, but oh, yeah, it's a good song, yeah. Especially the Stranger Eyes one. I like that one. Well, that's it for the Rockin Reviews and Awesome Brews. Thanks to all the viewers, Jeff G, Nate earlier. I'm sure I'll have more 10,000 views by the end of this week. So thanks to all you 10,000 viewers. Join us next time we do a Rockin Review and Awesome Brew. And also join us when we do some beer reviews. That's what we mostly do. Beer reviews since 2011. Although this channel started in 2020, the year of reckoning, when YouTube recognized that something was wrong with us and they canceled our channel. And we had 7,000 subscribers on the original channel, still growing at that point, and we got canceled. Yeah, that's okay. We'll start anew. All right, well, that'll be it for me. Shagdog, Spitter Swallow Beer Review. We'll see you on the next one. Jammer, hopefully be on in a week or two. He was on the other day, did about 3 or 4 beer reviews. So hopefully within a week or two, he'll be back on again as usual. We've been talking about cutting down the beer reviews, though, because I do them like every week, 3 or 4 beer reviews at least. But we've been talking about cutting them down, recording them, not doing live videos anymore, but we'll probably still do some live ones. I think we'll do 1 or 2 live ones and then record some, just because what's really weird is when you go to our YouTube channel, the recorded ones show up first, which are far and few nowadays, but so people don't even see our most recent videos at first, with first top of the page. And I don't think there's a way to rearrange to get the live ones up to the top. I mean, there is a recommended for you at the top, actually. Recommended for you, I think. And then the recorded ones, then the live ones. So I'd rather have my most recent ones shown on top. So I don't know. We're still debating what we're going to do. But, yeah, we might record some. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, but if you have any, I still got to do an album review. I forgot who requested that. Let's see if I could find it. I probably lost it. Hopefully, I know it's in there somewhere in my notes, but Ray Slay Sloween 3992 requested us to. I hope it's a real band. 1983's Boa, whatever that band's called. I still got to review that one of their albums. He said I knew one of their albums, so I have to review that someday. I never heard of them, so when I get a chance, let's chug this beer down. Festbier. I did chug a couple beers down the other day. Jammer didn't think I'd do it. I'm going to chug this down. He's like, yeah, okay. Chugged it all the way down. I was in rare form. Well, it actually says on the Sierra Nevada can at the top. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there it is. Family operated or family owned, operated, and argued over. I never saw that before. All right, let's chug this beer down and get off here. What do you think? Oh, wow. I didn't even know the albums, most of these albums. Let's see, Dawkins on there. I'm trying to see if any of the albums I mentioned were on this little background thing. Rat is on there. Kiss, I didn't do that one because I only like about 2 or 3 songs off that one. Same with Iron Maiden, like 2 or 3 songs. I mean, Twisted Sister's on there. Madonna. I actually was going to put Madonna on my list, but I was like, yeah, I can't put Madonna. I like about 3 or 4 of those songs on that album, but I was like, yeah, unless Madonna was here, then I put it on my list. Young Madonna, not current Madonna. Yeah, awesome times. I don't know what Purple Rain's on there. I see a purple album cover on it over to the right, but And I see a purple one to the left too, so I don't know if Purple Rain's on there or not. But of course, there's some behind me too that I can't see. So, man, let's chug this beer down. Almost had it, but almost doesn't count. Yeah, so stay tuned with us over the next month, 2 months. Oktoberfest beers and pumpkin beers and scary beers. I only have about 2 or 3 scary beers. You know, the label is scary, something about a witch or whatever. A zombie, a witch. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go beer shopping again, probably another week or 2. It's a shame. Now, if I did a one-stop shop, if I drove to Columbia, it's about an hour drive from here, but they have a Total Wine and More, and mostly I get most of the beers from there. All the Oktoberfest, they got a slew of beer, but over here near my town, across the river, there's 2 liquor stores where the one liquor store will have stuff like this, you know, like all the the big name craft beers. Left Hand Brewing, Sierra Nevada. I mean, not all of them, only a select few, but I meant they had more this time than they did last year. Last year it was hard pickings for Oktoberfest and pumpkin beers from that place. So this year they had a little bit more, especially the Oktoberfest beers. The pumpkin beers were slim pickings this time, and then I went to the other liquor store and they have more like Georgia craft beers, some North Carolina or South Carolina, but mostly some Georgia craft beers. But if I went to Columbia, I could have probably bought every beer, not every beer, but like 30 pumpkins and 30 Oktoberfest if I wanted to. I actually bought every pumpkin beer I saw, with the exception of the Elysian or Eliason. They had 4 pumpkin beers, Night Owl, and 3 other ones. I just didn't like them the last time I had them about 3 or 4 years ago, so I didn't bother buying them. But that store and the other store, I bought every pumpkin and every Oktoberfest beer they had, and I came out of there, and like I said, 3 or 4 different beers, whatever style they are, that are scary labeled. Just a label, like a witch, but they're like, I don't know, even though they're not pumpkins or Oktoberfest or some other type of beer style. 31. That's what I came out of there with. Actually, less than that, because one pumpkin beer I bought 2 of them, and one Oktoberfest I bought 2 of them. So really, 29. Right. All right, that'll do it for this one, y'all. Thanks for watching, Jeff G, Nate, anybody else that watched. Mom, thank you. Love you. Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Shagdog. We'll see you on the next one. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, like. And, yeah. And if you want to watch these Rockin reviews at Awesome Brews, check the playlist. We only got like 2 videos on there right now, 2 or 3 videos. I don't even know if all the videos are on the playlist. I might not have added all of them. But hopefully within a couple weeks, we get some more in, get the playlist going. All right, see you on the next one. Cheers. Rock out.